The NASCAR Whelen Euro Series will return to Franciacorta in northern Italy for the third and fourth rounds of its championship on the 11th and 12th of May. Last year's encounter provided some fantastic racing, wheel-to-wheel action all the way through. Always run wide, there's lock brakes and they're still side by side. A little bit of contact, and there's more contact, he's putting into a spin. It's another win and more championship points. Welcome along, everybody, to day 2 here at Autodromo Franciacorta. It's round 4 of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, and it's the Elite 2 division that will be coming up very, very shortly. Fantastic backdrop to this circuit with snow still on the top of the mountains here in the northern part of Italy. This wonderful circuit, the enthusiasm of a local building contractor deciding to convert this former quarry into an international racing circuit. And whilst in the past we've seen the likes of the FIA European Touring Car Cup here, it's the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series that gets going this weekend. We've already had some great racing. We saw a race yesterday for both the Elite 1 division and the Elite 2 division. So let's look back at some of the highlights from the action here 24 hours ago. So wonderful highlights from yesterday. A win for Alan Day in the Elite 1 division. That's his 18th career win in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. And for Lasse Sorensen, the Danish driver, making his debut in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series this weekend. It was a win in his very, very first race. Well, he's going to be on the grid for this one, but some of the action yesterday was fraught. And I've got one of the Elite 1 drivers that's joining me in the commentary box for this one. We've just seen the highlights, and we've just seen, unfortunately, what happened to you yesterday, Mauro Trioni. Your race didn't last very long before the car was upside down.
Good morning, everybody. And first of all, I'm sorry interrupting you. I mean, I will describe what happened yesterday, but I wanted to wish to all the moms in Italy a nice mom celebration today, because it's Celebration Day. Yes, Mother's Day. So to my mom, to all the moms, big hug from your sons and daughters. Anyway, what happened yesterday was really, really unlucky, because I mean, second crash in 2 races.
Yeah.
And with my friend Alex Caffi, we had a good start, a really good start, passing some of our competitors. And Alex was hit in the back from his teammate, Kenko. So it was not a nice, friendly meeting afterwards in the track. But we were unlucky because I almost passed him on the left, but my back wheel got stuck with his front wheel that was in the wrong position, and the car just went upside down. Another experience. I mean, I think I will change the color of my roof now, because after the crash in Valencia with Ellen, I think red is the wrong one. So we'll stay with the white.
And the crash in Valencia, the crash yesterday. You've been in the wrong place at the wrong time, but it was nice to see that you were okay. It was a soft rollover. You switched the engine off straight away, so there's no real damage to the car, which meant that it was able to come out in the Elite 2 race later on.
Exactly. So I have some experience, so I know that when you flip over, the first thing you need to do is to avoid, fire and other things. That the real danger with this kind of stuff is to stop the engine right away. So I was, it was a nice slow rollover kind of, so I was able to stop the engine right away. And the damage, don't laugh, because I was in the car trying to get out with the medical team coming over. Are you okay? You okay? He says, yes, I'm okay, but help me to get out, because I'm pretty big, and we don't have like a door, and the window gets very small when your roof is next to your helmet. So trust me, it was kind of funny.
The only reason I was laughing is because I won't do it on commentary, but now we've come up with a football chant to support you, Mauro Trioni, haven't you? Yeah, we heard that earlier on, but we won't.
I'll tell you the reality.
We are not doing it.
I'll tell you the reality. The reality is that I'm still in the back. I still do some mistakes. I need to get my speed. I want my fan to remember me, so I'm looking for a big crash. Valencia was a nice experience. I got a lot of followers after that crash. And Ellen loves me. She was looking for me. Also, when I roll over, I found Ellen just below my car. So it's a way to be visible.
You're always in for a giggle when Mauro Trioni joins you in the commentary box, and I've been told I ought to do the football chant as well. Do you really want it doing?
Yeah.
Well, we know that it's Trioni, whoa, Trioni, whoa. He comes from Italy. He's faster than Caffey.
Don't tell Caffey. Don't tell Alex. Okay, Alex. He's a legend in Italy, so he doesn't want to hear this.
Let's talk about the racing, actually. So, sorry to turn all serious on you all of a moment, but Elite 2 heading out there now. Yesterday was ideal conditions for racing. We had a warm ambient temperature. The circuit rubbered up beautifully well. But to say that we had a bit of a storm last night was an understatement. It was a bit like a war zone, the paddock area. Thankfully, there's just one person that was injured here in the paddock, and we wish them all the very best with knocked unconscious, trying to move stuff out of the way to get out of harm's way as the storm came through. But the circuit now needs to rubber up again, Mauro.
Yes, it is. You're right. Last night was a nightmare. People were screaming. Even the commentator of the other races was kind of worried, asking everybody to stay safe in indoor position.
Yeah.
So today I think that is getting better, even if some drops are falling down. So everybody's kind of worried about what's going to happen. The previous race did help to get the circuit kind of rubbered and clean. I think with the Elite 2 we won't see any issues, because the track is pretty dry at the moment. But it's an uncertain weather, so if few drops will fall down, drivers will see the drops on the windshield and get worried. But again, I think that the conditions are good now.
So we can see the crowds of people that are here ready on the grid. The umbrellas are up. Thankfully, that is not for the rain. As we say, we really did have shocking conditions. It affected a race that was going on at Monza as well. The European Le Mans Series was over there, and the storm hit them. It came through here, and we've had trees down. The paddock's all been upset, and I think very sadly, just down the road at Brescia, there were a couple of fatalities. It really was a shocking storm that came through last night. But thankfully, everybody on site here is good. 5 minutes to go before we get the rolling lap underway. We saw that first ever win for the Dexwek DF1 Racing Chevrolet Camaro of Lasse Sorensen yesterday. The American driver Myatt Snyder was second and Giorgio Maggi was third. But the grid, Mauro, it's worth pointing this out for today, is based on the fastest laps that were set yesterday. So it's important to get the quick lap in, even if you don't necessarily get the ideal position in the race.
Yes, this is the rule of NASCAR Whelen European Series. and I think that it rewards the faster driver, and not the one that was able to gain some positions because of maybe a crash or a restart. So the grid now is reflecting the speed of the competitors based on yesterday's race. So is the top three guys that Sorensen sincerely surprised me yesterday. He was very intelligent, very smart to take advantage of some of the battles in front of him, and I'm very happy for the team, because they work hard, they deserve it, and we're gonna see a really nice race. The top six guys, Ghirelli, and even in the back we have where is Risitano. Risitano is the leader of the championship, or at least I don't know, he was until I mean, he doesn't have it anymore, but again, everything can happen, and the first three rows are Maggi is the leader. Okay, so we're going to see a nice race.
We are, yeah. Nicola Risitano, we briefly saw a picture of. He's at the wheel of the number 8 Racers Motorsport car. On pole position is going to be Florian Venturi, and Florian Venturi was going beautifully well yesterday. There is the youngest ever driver we've had in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, just 16 years of age. That is Ben Kriener's car. Ben had a retirement. There was, I think, a little bit of contact into around turn 11 yesterday, where his car was unfortunately ended up in the gravel trap, but only 16 years of age, Mauro. And I don't know if you know the story about young Ben Kriener. He's sharing the car with double former champion Luca Lasser, but Ben Kriener, 16 years of age. He was only 16 in March. He had his first ever car race at Silverstone on just almost within a couple of days of his birthday, and has had to cram all of the car races in to get his license upgraded to be able to even join the grid.
No, he's a great story, and the guy is very nice and he's very excited. We met him because, unfortunately, the crash yesterday happened with my teammate, Moreno de Silvestre, that, by the way, is at his first race ever from go-kart.
Yeah.
So two young guys, really excited of, joining this beautiful championship with, big names and champions. Almost the same experience. The license of Moreno arrived at the last minute yesterday because of, an exceptional work done by the XAI in Italy, and Ben together, discussing about the accident. You're right, I'm right, you're wrong, and it was, really, really good to see these two young talent coming from go-karts in the NASCAR. That is kind of unique, because NASCAR is giving these young people the opportunity to compete in such a beautiful championship, and I don't see this in other competition in around, especially in Italy or in Europe.
I've just had a quick add up in my head. 29 cars scheduled to be on the grid for this Elite 2 race, and 19 of them are rookies in the championship. And you look at the front end of the grid, whilst Florian Venturi's car sits there on pole position. That's the white fronted car that you can see to the left of your screens as the 1 minute board goes up. We'll go through the grid in a few moments time. He's the only driver on the front 3 rows of the grid that is not a rookie. So we've got lots of rookies, but we've got lots of very quick rookies. Quick run through the grid then. We can see to the right of your screens now, it's sort of white and black with flashes of yellows. You can just see the mechanic chatting to Florian Venturi. He sits there on pole position, was leading the race yesterday, had ignition problems and retired in that race. So it was a big hit in his championship. Alongside him, another driver who retired in yesterday's race, the very quick American for PK Carsport, Andre Castro, who was leading the race, just got passed by the race winner ultimately, which was Lasse Sorensen, but at that stage the car was starting to suffer problems, and Andre Castro retired right at the sharp end as well. So both retirees at the front end of the grid for this race. So you can see Andre Castro's car is largely black and grey and some day glow flashes to it. Row 2 of the grid, it's the number 50 Ford Mustang of Giorgio Maggi. It's black, you can see the red bumper, it's got the red, the white and the blue stripe sitting over the centre of it. He is a rookie, and alongside him you can see to the left of your screens the light green and green car of yesterday's race winner, Lasse Sorensen. So watch out for that Danish driver. The third row of the grid, back to the right hand side of your screen, number 48, red and yellow, that's the Ford Mustang of American Myatt Snyder. And the opposite side of the grid, the all black car, number 9, is off they head on their final formation lap, is Vittorio Ghirelli. It's sort of orange towards the front and black at the tail end. You'll see as they pull away. We'll give you the 4th row of the grid. It is for Deck Swept Racing, the number 99 car in the hands of the very rapid German Justin Kuntz, the 21-year-old, sits alongside one of the more experienced drivers in the field, number 11. Great to see Bert Longines back in the championship. I don't think he's going to be doing the full season, but for a driver that finished 6th in the Elite 1 standings back in 2014, Bert was going well yesterday, but then had a spin and there was a little bit of contact, dropped him down through the order. So it didn't quite go to plan for him. And just to give you the 5th row of the grid, it's number 77 that sits there on the 5th row of the grid for Memphis Racing. The Swedish rookie, but he's got lots of experience in Swedish V8 Thunder cars. That is Freddie Hemburg, sits alongside what will be a gap on the grid now, because number 7, Martin Dubeck, is suffering from a little bit of an injury and has taken the decision not to race today. So the number 7 car will be absent from that row of the grid. So now is the time, Mauro, that you work hard, you warm the tyres, you warm the brakes, and you get ready for what is going to be, in the case of Elite 2, a 24-lap race.
Is a special moment. I mean, you get kind of, your heart start beeping pretty fast. Franciacorta is a, let's say, kind of a small circuit, even if it's very nice to drive in. You start with the formation lap, and in a few seconds you are already ready to go. And the first turn is right there, not a lot of space. So people are thinking, what should I do? How can I pass my competitors? At the same time, how can I avoid a possible contact that is in this kind of racing is around the corner. Yes,
I'm going to pick out, because he's of the same nationality as me, the number 90 Brax racing car from the back of the grid, Scott Jeffs, who didn't get a lap time in yesterday. He had a prop shaft fail very early on, so watch out for that number 90 car from the tail end of the field. He should make some progress, the former mini challenge champion back in the UK. So they head over the start finish line very shortly. Neat 2x2 order. Buckle up, everybody, we're about to go green for the second time for the Elite 2 division this weekend at Franciacorta. Good start from Florian Venturi from pole position already. Andre Castro heads across from the left-hand side of the circuit to the right-hand side to make sure he protects the line heading in towards turn 1. The first 3 corners are right-handers. Giorgio Maggi is through into 3rd position, and it looks as though slotting through into 4th is going to be Myatt Snyder, wheel to wheel with Vittorio Gorelli, but the Italian has made it through and ahead of the American, and Myatt Snyder might come under pressure from Bert Longines' number 11 car that sits behind. Looks so everybody is safely through the first couple of corners, Mauro, and then they come up to this technical section at turn 6 and turn 7.
Yes, if you are able to stay next to your competitor in this run of chicanes, you can get to the corner that they just did and get the advantage of staying inside. So is a nice set of, unfortunately number 88 had a problem.
Yeah, that's Eric Clement, who has had a rotation. That's coming out of turn number 7. That will drop that races motorsport car, or racing engineering car, I ought to say, to the tail end of the field. Up towards turn number 11, the uphill braking area for the right-hand hairpin. They will thread their way. There is Vittorio Gorelli, number 9, looking to try and carve his way through the field. For the moment, he's got yesterday's race winner just ahead of him, which is Lasse Sorensen, who sits there in 4th place. The leading pair breaking away. Andre Castro just showing the nose of the car to Florian Venturi on the approach towards turn 1, but he's too far away to try and make any progress. There is the American, number 48, Myatt Snyder. He is sitting there currently just outside of the top 6, and that is retirement for Michael Bleekemolen by the look of things. Yeah, he's stuck on the grass, isn't he?
Bleekemolen Senior, I think, is the father of the guy that is racing with me in Elite 2.
Yeah, Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian. And I mean, fast family, by the way, and like the Trione family. And I mean, these laps, I'm very happy that nothing really serious happened during the first lap. That is the most dangerous one, and I think we're going to see a beautiful race now.
Yeah, that's Michael Bleekemolen. Say lots and lots of experience for him. Graduated right the way through to Formula 1 in sort of 77 and 78 when he was racing for the likes of Ram and ATS Formula 1 teams, but has got lots and lots of single-seater sports car and saloon car experience. Race still continues because the car is out of harm's way. No safety car required, at least as yet. Up towards the braking area for turn 11 they'll go. Number 48, Myatt Snyder, still in 6th place. He's still got Bert Longines behind him, while Snyder's trying to get through and past the leading Italian that we've got in the field at the moment, the number 9 car of Vittorio Gorelli. That's the black car but with the orange flashes down the side of it. Lead pair already through turn number 1. Giorgio Maggi, the championship leader at the wheel of the Hendricks Motorsport Ford, sitting there in 3rd position. He finished in 3rd place yesterday, Giorgio Maggi, and I had a quick chat to him. he thought that he got a bit more pace to maybe work his way up through the order, but already he's thinking about the championship positions, and whilst he wants the wins, it's the points that become important, isn't it?
Yes, I had the chat with him as well. I thought that, I have a Swiss license because I live in Switzerland, and his name is Italian, so I thought he was coming from Canton Ticino, so Italian speaking. So I go there and I talk to him, and he says, "What are you talking about?" He doesn't speak any Italian, and he told me, about what he wants to do, his goals. The good thing about this, as you mentioned before, Elite 2 now became a great set of young drivers, rookie drivers, and this is what it should be. And you see Elite 1 became, a great set of, older and more experienced drivers. We have also Jacques Villeneuve, Formula 1 champion. So the two grids are reflecting the spirit of what this should be. Elite 1 for, again, more experienced drivers, and Elite 2 for young, talented people that want to really go forward with their experience in NASCAR, and Maggi is one of them.
And it works, doesn't it? Yeah, Giorgio Maggi is going to be one of several drivers in this field that will end up in Elite 1, and you look at Elite 1, there are so many former Elite 2 drivers that have worked their way up.
Exactly.
Looking at the battle that's going on at the moment, race winner from the second of the two races that we had in Valencia, which is the number 8 car of Nicolas Risitano, coming under pressure from the number 31 car, which is the car that you'll be driving in Elite 1. It looks as though Marino is going beautifully well. He's got the car sitting directly behind him, which is the number 12 car of Nave as well. So that's a 3-car fight, and that is going to be down 4 positions, a little lower down through the order at this stage, but they are pretty much together, aren't they, fighting over what is 14th, 15th and 16th places.
Yes, Nicolas is a very fast and experienced driver. He won in Valencia, and Moreno is a rookie. I mean, real rookie, coming from go-karts, first race yesterday, and now he's fighting with the winner of Valencia. and Nave is another young, very humble and talented driver, racing with the Cine Motorsport car number 12. So it's a great fight, and I'm very happy for 31 because it's the car I'm driving tomorrow, later on today. So it means that the car is running nice, and for Moreno, that is on his first ever experience on a race car.
Yeah, he's adapted beautifully well, hasn't he? Having come out of CIK FIA F2 karts, or KF2 karts, the 21-year-old. Number 66, yesterday's race winner, Lasse Sorensen, still looking to try and hang on to 4th place. At the moment, Vittorio Gorelli can't unlock the door to squeeze his way through, so the Chevy still sits ahead of the Ford. Onto the brakes, they're heading round through turn number 9, I think this will be at the moment, down the short straight that brings them up towards turn number 10. There's plenty of curb on the exit of the corner that you can take coming out of turn number 10. Not too much though, otherwise it might attract the attention of the race director. And then from there, can he get a tow on the run up towards turn number 11? He's having a quick look. Is he close enough? Not quite. Good driving from Lasse Sorensen. We saw that yesterday, didn't he? He just drove beautifully well, didn't make a mistake, and the result came his way.
He's a guy from Northern Europe, so should be like Iceman, so cold enough to handle the pressure of Vittorio Ghirelli. There is another fast driver. I should mention that Vittorio was racing for Audi. I think was in the official loop of the drivers. So I mean, I'm happy to see how 66 Sorensen is handling the pressure. Not easy because Vittorio is pushing really hard. I can see already some contacts on the fiberglass of his car. I think we should follow this battle. Is going to be interesting.
It's a good
but
battle.
66 is handling the pressure really well.
He is for the moment. Yeah, it's still the Dane ahead of the Italian. I think I briefly just saw Eric Clement
Big
head
mistake
into the pit
here.
lane.
Big mistake.
But yeah, the slight mistake. That's probably the first mistake we've seen from Lasse Sorensen all weekend, and for the moment he got away with it there. But Vittorio Gorelli is trying to get the overlap this time, heading out of turn number 10. He couldn't manage it on the lap prior, but he's a little bit closer this time to Lasse Sorensen. Defending on the run up towards the braking area for the chicane goes Sorensen, so Gorelli's now going to try around the outside at 11, which would give him the inside line for turn number 12, but that's not going to work. So the pair of them are now getting caught by the car that sits behind, which is the Racing Engineering Ford in the hands of the American driver Myatt Snyder, who we've seen racing in the NASCAR Truck Series over the course of this season already. Had a very good result at Martinsville despite difficult problems in the early part of the race there. I I think finished inside the top 6, so it's 2 cars fighting away for 4th and 5th, about to be joined by a 3rd car, in fact almost joined now by Myatt Snyder, and Myatt Snyder is bringing with him the PK Car Sport number 11 car in the hands of the Belgian as well, which is Bert Longines. So through turn 5 up towards a difficult braking area to turn number 6, Vittorio Garelli is trying everything. He's at his home NASCAR Grand Prix, he's the leading Italian, but at the moment, other than that one small mistake for Lasse Sorensen, Garelli is just struggling to find an opportunity to squeeze his way through.
Yes, I said big mistake before, because this kind of cars, they don't forgive you anything. So as you know, as soon as you get into the turn too quickly, I mean, you push a little bit and you have to lock the brakes, you lose so much speed afterwards that you have to protect the attack of your next competitor, like in this case Garelli. That's why I said, that mistake could have caused a big problem, and you can see how now the others are close. But 66 is, again, for me, is cold enough and strong enough to handle the pressure, and he accelerated again. And let's see what happens.
As you said, yeah, Iceman, isn't he, at this stage, Lasse Sorensen. So Florian Venturi, as you can see on the graphic, leads the race. He's got almost a 4-second advantage now between himself and the number 24 car of Andre Castro, with Giorgio Maggi, the championship leader, sitting there in 3rd. Then Lasse Sorensen, Vittorio Garelli, Myatt Snyder, Bert Longines, all together fighting for 4th through to 7th places. Justin Kuntz is there in 8th place. Advik Deodar, the Indian, is in 9th place, and it is going to be completing the top 10 at this stage. Car number 42, which is Claudio Capelli, completes the top 2 ahead of Freddie Hemberg and Pierluigi Veronesi. That gives you the top 12. Looking at Freddie Hemberg at the wheel of the number 77 car, that's the black car with the yellow bonnet. He's got a queue of cars behind him as well, actually. This is good stuff. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th all together, and that includes, Moreno di Silvestre in that little battle as well.
Moreno passed Risitano, oh my, he's pushing really hard now. He's getting nervous because he wants, maybe he feels like he's faster, and he wants to attack 66, that is not leaving any space for Vittorio. But again, the race is still kind of long, so he needs to find the good and the better spot to try the attack, and not push too much, because you see, he pushed him a little bit and now he lost contact with him.
Yeah, it's just dropped him a couple of car lengths further back, but it was a good recovery from Vittorio Garelli, because the back end of the car started to wag. He could have made contact with the tail end of the number 66 car in the hands of yesterday's race winner, but he gathered it up, locked the brakes and swerved to try and avoid any contact, and now he's worked his way back onto the coattails of that race winning car from yesterday. We are now on lap number 9 of the 24 at this stage of the race, still with Florian Venturi out front and leading the race. 5 seconds now is the gap, 1st to 2nd. Here we are looking at the number 11 PK Car Sport Chevy in the hands of Bert Longines. He sits there in 7th place. The car ahead of him is the Ford of Myatt Snyder. The car behind is the number 99 car in the hands of Justin Kuntz, which is the sister car to this one here, Lasse Sorensen, who is still under pressure from Vittorio Garelli. So, as we saw yesterday, really, good fights going on through the order. Slight mistake was there by Myatt Snyder, who sort of ran out wide a little bit through turn number 11, and coming out of turn number 12, Bert Longines here might have a run on him.
Look how Snyder is protecting the line, but the experience of Longines, very close. The experience of Longines, will give him, I believe, a little advantage in the fight, door to door. But Schneider is fast, and he has a very good car. I think he has also some experience and he's young. So let's see. This is a good match between young talent and a very experienced driver.
Yeah, the Myatt Snyder, who has gone beautifully well over in the States over the course of the last couple of seasons in the NASCAR Truck Series, the camping or Truck Series as it was known, until the beginning of this season, of course, when the new title sponsorship took over. He's still doing a good job. They've had to work their way past the traffic there as well, and moving neatly out of the way was the car of Arianna Casoli. So she has now dropped off the lead lap of the race. Andre Castro still struggling to keep up with the pace of Florian Venturi. As you can see, the gap's now to 5.2 seconds, 1st to 2nd. But this is a good fight going on for 6th, for 7th and for 8th position. 3 separate nationalities altogether. The Belgian ahead of the American. sorry, the American ahead of the Belgian, and then the German Justin Kuntz closing in as well. Looks as though there's just a little bit of damage to the tail end of Justin Kuntz's number 99 car, isn't that? That right rear bumper just flapping away slightly.
Yeah, you're right. By the way, I think Snyder has some issues with the balance of his car, because he's always oversteering in some of the turns. That's why he's losing some speed in the exit, and that's why Bert Longin is trying to get some advantage. So I can see that maybe the tires are, these are the tires that they used yesterday in the race, and they are, maybe now they're gonna be at the end of their life, let's say this. So it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers can manage the fact that tires are not handling in the way they were handling yesterday. And so the balance of the car is important now, and Snyder is I believe is suffering a little bit of oversteering because of this.
Yeah, so it's that sort of new combination, isn't it? The slightly softer spring they're running here on the front of the cars for this weekend, the new dampers that were introduced at the beginning of the season, General Tyre taking over as the control tyre supplier, and it's whichever team feel at this stage, still early on in the season, are finding the best combination of ensuring that what are 4 brand new tyres at the beginning of this weekend still remain in a reasonable condition as you've gone through qualifying, race 1 and race 2. So it's trying to find that balance and not overdriving the car. And for some of the drivers yesterday, they were hoping that there'd be safety cars in there as well, because they adjusted tyre pressures, hoping there'd be a safety car, which there were for some of them, and that meant that as the safety car came out there, the tyres were able to get back down into that sort of prime area of tyre pressure again. And had the race had gone green all of the way, a couple of them said to me they would have struggled. They gambled at this circuit, there would be contact, there would be safety cars, and they got it yesterday. At the moment, we've gone green all of the way.
Yeah, exactly. More laps for the tires, and but you see, this competition. I mean, this championship. These cars are unique. So Bert Longin was really close to Snyder and trying to attack him. Snyder made a small mistake, maybe because of tires, maybe because he get too fast in a turn, and now is Bert's turn. I mean, the situation can change in every moment, and this is why the competition is kind of fun for also for the spectators to watch.
And just having a quick look through the orders to see as to who is leading the various categories. Well, Florian Venturi leads the race overall now by quite a staggering 7 seconds at this stage from Andre Castro. Andre Castro will be the leading rookie currently. And looking down through the orders to who is leading the Legend Trophy, which is for who is leading the Legend Trophy, which is for bronze-graded drivers aged 40 and over that enter the Elite 2 Championship. We have, at this stage, a leader of that being Claudio Capelli, in 10th position. I also mentioned at the very top of the programme, I said watch out for, from the back of the grid, because he retired yesterday, he's a quick driver, didn't do many laps and the tyres would be in good condition, Scott Jeffs, who started in 28th position, and as you can see now on the graphic, is up to 15th place, gaining the most places in a race. It's worth noting, gained you 4 extra championship points this year.
I know, I got them, and I was very kind of good, not lucky. in Valencia in race 1 I got these extra 4 points based on a good start. But this is also interesting. If you behave in a nice way and you stay there and you're fast, you can definitely gain position as Jeff is doing. But I want to underline one thing, sorry if I do, but number 31, now Jeff is just behind or very close to Moreno de Silvestre, that is my teammate. This is also a great race because Moreno is again a rookie, a real rookie, first race, and now he's in 12th position.
Well, I think he's 11th now because he's got himself ahead of the number 77 of Freddie.
Exactly, he's not updated, so he's 11th. He's going close to the top 10. If he does, we're going to celebrate.
Well, as I said at the beginning of it,
Moreno.
if you need to disappear just as the checkered flag comes out to go and celebrate with the team, please feel free. Here is number 11, which is Bert Longin. He is still shadowing the car of Mike Snyder ahead. He's still under pressure from Justin Kuntz that sits behind. You can see again the oversteer on Myatt Snyder's car. Now that may well be tyres, it may well be the fact that he just likes the car set up that way. I had a quick chat to him after yesterday's race and he did say he knew he was quick at some parts of the circuit but was slower at others, and at the moment that car is struggling a little bit. If that's the way he set the car up, then Yeah, with another, 10 laps to go, 9 laps to go, he is really going to be struggling, because we are now on lap number 15 of the 24. There goes number 46. That is British driver Sean Hollenby, who we've seen racing in the British Touring Car Championship previously. He is hunting down Jerry Zavert at this stage, and they are fighting over 21st and 22nd position. And just having a quick look through the order, I think that might be the final podium spot, possibly, for the Legend Trophy that they are fighting over. So, yeah, battles all the way down through the field. They've got Jesse Vartian, and just ahead of them at the wheel of the number 2 Alex Caffey racing car, but the blue car with the white stripes down the centre of it, Jerry Zavert, is currently 3rd in the Legend Trophy. Right behind him is Sean Hollenby, and the two of those are sort of getting stuck together with each other. Good little fight, that one. Lock break from Sean Hollenby, who said he's learned a lot more about the car. He said when he was at Valencia, he thought that the car was driving him. He's come to Franciacorta, and for the first time, having spent a bit more time behind the wheel of it, he now feels as though he is driving the car. Does that make sense?
It does. Maybe different circuits, but so different setup. You can adapt your style to better into a circuit than another one. And also more experience. Yeah. So these cars, are easy. It's easy that this car can drive you instead of you driving the car. And in this case, I mean, the guy is doing a great job. But it's a very easy mistake to do. It's a very common mistake to do. Sorry, to be driven by the car. You want to go faster and you go slower. You don't realize that pushing too much is not the right thing to do with the NASCAR the NASCAR car. So you need to be very careful, adapt your style, find the good way to approach the braking and the acceleration, and if you do, you start driving and not being driven.
Another place gained for the number 90 Brax Racing Chevy in the hands of Scott Jeffs. He's got himself ahead of the 77 Memphis Racing Chevy of Freddie Hemberg, and Freddie Hemberg is now coming under pressure from the number 27 Ford, which is Pierluigi Veronesi at his home NASCAR Grand Prix. So progress still continuing for that number 90 machine off the back of the grid. 77 and the 27 fighting away for 13th and 14th place, and Freddie Hemberg, yeah, not really putting up a great deal of resistance there, did he? Pierluigi Veronesi, very easy, was able to squeeze his way through.
I think number 77 is having some issues because the guy is pretty fast. Fast Freddy, I call him. He's a nice guy, and he was passed by my teammate Moreno, and now he's getting some. He's not as fast as he was, and also 27 Pierluigi Veronesi passed him, so I think that the guy is having some issues.
Here is our race leader back to Florian Venturi. Look at the gap. He's now got 10.5 seconds almost between himself and Andre Castro. He'll lose a little bit of that advantage. He's worked his way past Ariana Casoli and lapped her for what I think is the second time. He's just dived up the inside of the number 70 machine in the hands of Mirko Schurtis, the driver and team owner at Mishu Motors, that are running 2 cars here this weekend. So there goes Florian Venturi, who is looking good here to potentially see whether he can claim another victory in the Elite 2 division. Such has been the movement of drivers from Elite 2 into Elite 1, or others that have headed off into other championships. I think Florian Venturi is the winningest most driver in Elite 2 that we've had on the grid this weekend, and he's only got 2 wins under his belt, so he could be heading towards victory number 3. We're on lap number 18 now of the 24, and he's pushed hard in the early stages, Mauro Trioni, with a 10-second gap now on lap number 16 of 24. He can just control the pace, can't he?
Yes. I mean, we have only six laps to go. The team did a fantastic job because they were with Jacques Villeneuve, with his experience, they did some great testing lately, and I talked to Jacques yesterday, and he was very pleased about the changes and how the car is behaving now. He was not that pleased in Valencia, but you can see the results. I mean, yesterday Jacques was fighting for the lead, and he finished on third position on the podium, first podium in the series, and now Florian is just flying. I think that they should be really happy with the testing and the new setting of the car.
Yeah, the pace of that number 50 car has, the pace of that number 32 car, I ought to say, has been staggeringly good all weekend. So Go Fast Racing, who of course compete on both sides of the Atlantic in NASCAR, have put together a very, very strong car for this weekend. More traffic being dealt with. There's a bit of bodywork damage there as well. That is the car that dived into the pit lane, Eric Clermont, who is back out on circuit, but even with the change of front bumper to his car, there's still sort of a bit of damage there. The race leader is now on lap number 19 of the scheduled 24, so 5 more laps to go at this stage. Andre Castro still sitting in second place, with Giorgio Maggi, the championship leader, settling ever more into third place. Lassie Sorensen and Vittorio Gorelli completing the top 5, but that car there, which is Eric Clermont, very, very, very sideways.
Wow.
Lots and lots of oversteer coming out
Yes.
to number 7, and yeah, he was a little bit too keen there to plant his foot on the accelerator, and the Ford Mustang very quickly reminded him that that's not a good thing to do.
No. And I also would like to have a view on what is going on between number 42 and Moreno de Silvestri, number 31, because they are really close now. I'm looking at the gap, and it's less than a second. So Moreno recovered a 3.5 seconds gap of 2 laps ago. So I think either Capelli is having some issue with the tires, or Moreno is just flying again. But it's going to be a very tight finish.
We look back at the fight for 7th and 8th place. Bert Longines has been looking in his mirrors all race long and has continually seen that Justin Kuntz is sitting there right behind him. Further down through the order, the number 12 car in 16th place of the Israeli driver Nave Tella, who is new to the championship this year. He's coming to join me in the commentary box for the race later on. Is fighting away with Thomas Krasinis, who is of Greek descent and has been racing previously in the Junior Saloon Car Championship over in the UK over the course of the last couple of seasons. There goes Nave to round and through turn number 11 up towards turn number 12, as Myatt Snyder, now at the wheel of the 48 car, works his way through the traffic. He is in a fairly lonely 6th place at this stage. He's 3 seconds behind Vittorio Gorelli now. He has also managed to put the slower traffic between himself and the number 99 car of Justin Kuntz, so the battle's just starting to calm down a little bit now. And there is Bert Longines, who has lost a place somewhere. He had been ahead of Justin Kuntz for a long period of time, but the number 11 PK Car Sport car is now down in 8th place, and I'm not quite sure whether he's got the car underneath him. Ideally he would like. As for the final podium spot, though, that is still very much up for dispute. The championship leader, Giorgio Maggi, at the wheel of the Hendricks Motorsport prepared Ford, has traffic ahead. He can't afford to be compromised because he's got Lassie Sorensen right behind him, and Lassie, of course, won yesterday's race.
Lassie, as I said, was a surprise yesterday. I went to their team and compliment for the job they're doing. I didn't really know him, and he's really strong. And I mean, going with at the end of the race with that he's attacking now. He will attack number 50. That is, he has a very strong and balanced car. So the guy is somebody that we should follow for the rest of the season, because it should be interesting. I think we will see him on top of the list in the next races.
It wouldn't surprise me. He really has been remarkable over the course of this weekend. Say it is at the wheel of that number 66 car, his debut in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series this weekend, and he claimed a win yesterday. For the moment he's still in 4th place, but looking to try and attack on the run up towards turn number 11. Giorgio Maggi just starts to move over to defend the line, then moves back to take the full line in, and as they turn their way through the left-hander at turn number 12, Maggi is doing a hugely good and impressive job of defending, and he's got to, because Lassie Sorensen is not giving up. He needs another podium.
He won't give up. And by the way, I was just not. Oh, okay, he's gone. He's done.
Mistake
from Maggi, pressure, as you see, and or maybe some issues. I don't know, but you know, Iceman is on the podium again.
He is a cool customer.
And by the way, the guy has a small disadvantage, compared to other typical size drivers. The guy is big. He's tall and heavy, and in this kind of cars, it's not really comfortable to be tall and heavy. So extra points for him.
Jesse Vartinen just waving to allow Alessandro Brigatti through and past. Florian Venturi is about to try and put a lap on that number 19 car as he comes over the start-finish line very shortly to start the next lap of the race. So Venturi heads over the start-finish line, 14.5 seconds he leads by with only 2 laps to go. He's still got to try and put a lap on Alessandro Brigatti if he wishes, so the blue flags will wave. He mounts the curb. Brigatti not making it easy for him there, but for Florian Venturi, he can afford to lose a few seconds in the traffic at this stage.
Yes.
The one thing he doesn't want to do is trip over them and retire late in the race, as he did yesterday when he had an electrical issue.
No, I mean he has to. I mean he has 14 seconds advantage. He can really slow down. It's the last lap, or there is only two laps to go. He can slow down. Even he's also. You don't want to have a problem because you know that the car has to race in Elite 1, and your teammate is a guy named Jacques Villeneuve, so don't mess with the car of Jacques, otherwise you're going to have some issues. Trust me.
The progress of Scott Jeffs for the moment has been halted at 12th place from 28th on the grid, but he has now caught Marino Di Silvestre, your teammate, who shares the car, and also Silvestre is fighting away with Claudio Capelli, so there might be a shuffle in the order for 10th, 11th and 12th places potentially. That's a close one to look at, as you can see from the gaps between them there on the graphic on your screens. So Florian Venturi still continuing to lead the race at this stage. We're looking at the moment at the number 70 car in the hands of Mirko Schultes, who runs in the Legend Trophy and started down in something like 24th position on the grid. Mirko Schultes, he's still in 25th place, so he hasn't quite made the progress. Here comes our second place car, Andre Castro, who is looking good to finish on the podium here. Andre Castro, after what in yesterday's race was enormous disappointment, him retiring the car right towards the tail end of it. He had the pace throughout it, and if he does finish on the podium, it will be only his second podium of the year. And now we've also got retirement for Thomas Krasinas, so he's retired the number 1 Alex Caffey prepared car somewhere out on circuit.
Capelli and De Silvestre and Scott are so close. I mean, in 1 second, 3 cars. I mean, I'm sorry we cannot see the battle, but it should have been a very nice battle to see, because again, in 1 second, 3 cars, last lap. Go there, please. Anyway,
we will wait and see. We're about to head towards the checkered flag, so that's why we're staying with our race leader, Florian Venturi, who turns his way through turn number 12 up towards the checkered flag, and it's a 3rd career win in a NASCAR Whelen Euro Series for Florian Venturi. That makes up for the disappointment of yesterday, and you can see what that means to the team and to the driver as well. Venturi comes through to claim his 3rd victory of his NASCAR career. It is going to be in 2nd position Andre Castro, who comes through to finish in 2nd place, albeit 15 seconds adrift. Lasse Sorensen should be able to take up 3rd place, and it certainly looks as though Florian Venturi is going to be standing on the top step of the podium, but with Giorgio Maggi finishing in 4th place, that should mean that Giorgio Maggi mathematically, if we've done the sums right, will be leading the championship still on 137 points, and Vittorio Garelli, I think if he comes through and finishes where he is, and it's already done so, he will finish at 2nd in the championship on 132. Further down through the order, 14th, 15th and 16th still isn't sorted as yet. Freddie Hemberg under pressure. Navarrete gaining the place over race winner from Valencia, Nicola Risitano, on this lap, so that drops Risitano down into 16th position. So Navarrete finishes in 15th place, but Freddie Hemberg just ahead of him, so good fights going all the way down through the order. So Florian Venturi claims the race win. In 2nd place is the leading rookie home, Andre Castro, and 3rd place is yesterday's race winner, Lasse Sorensen. 4th goes the way of the Hendricks Motorsport Ford of Giorgio Maggi, ahead of Vittorio Garelli, who lies 2nd in the championship now, subject to official confirmation. He finished in 5th place, and completing the top 6 was Myatt Snyder. The leading driver home in the Legend Trophy was Claudio Capelli, who came through to finish in 10th position at the wheel of the 42 Racing by MS Motorsport Ford Mustang. But there is the disappointed face of poor old Michael Bleekie-Molen, who retired, just some 1 lap into the race, wasn't it? He retired on the very first lap of the race. And also, just to confirm, just heading through the shots now, that the winner of the Lady Trophy is in 25th position at the wheel of the Cal Racing number 54 car, Ariana Casoli. So in that one, Mauro, a good race, a dominant race by our race leader, but we went green all of the way. We went green all of the way.
Yes, I mean, very lucky. I mean, not luckily, because it means that the drivers were, they did compete in the right way without any nasty things. I mean, some contacts, but nothing special. It was a nice race, nice battles, nice passes, and the best car won. Again, they did a fantastic job with Jacques Villeneuve in the last testing session. So they set up the car in the nice way. And again, congratulations to my teammate Moreno, that finished away from the top 10, just 6 cents of a second. But again, it was a beautiful race overall.
We can put him on the podium. We can have our own little unofficial podium because he's third. He's the third Italian home at his home NASCAR Grand Prix. So
yes.
we'll let him have that little podium.
Yeah, last year it was kind of, the rookie were not that many, but now it's all rookies. We have only 3 or 4 legends, and so it's very difficult to be in the rookie podium. Because everybody's a rookie.
It's the most unpredictable division, the Elite 2 division of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, as we see race after race after race, season after season after season. So there in victory lane is the Go Fast Racing Chevrolet Camaro of our race winner Florian Venturi. Go Fast Racing finished 4th in the team's standings last year. Florian Venturi won the Rookie Championship last year because it was his first year of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. He's not eligible for that this year, of course, but he was runner-up in the Elite 2 overall championship. So coming into the start of the season, you would have said he would be one of the drivers that you would expect to see at the sharp end of the racing. He has been. He's not had the best of luck, though, so far this season, because in the first of the races at Valencia, he came through and finished way down in 21st position with issues, so only gained 16 points in the championship. He scored 0 points in the second of the races at Valencia, and of course yesterday had a retirement as well. So for a driver that arguably should be fighting for the championship, he's had the bad luck. Hopefully now this is the turning point for his season.
Yes, the way points are distributed, every driver has a second chance, because even if you didn't get as many as you wanted in a race, you still have plenty of recovery that can happen in the future race. So the only thing you need to worry is to have a good setup, drive carefully, and you will recover immediately, almost immediately.
So there we can see the reaction for Florian Venturi and the Go Fast Racing team, what it means to them, and in particular after those issues yesterday where
Jacques is there hugging and kissing. My car is safe, I can race, good job. Yeah, I'm not congratulating you because you won, but just because the car is nice, the car is safe.
Yeah, the 1995 Champ Car champion, of course, Indy 500 winner that year, the 1997 Formula One world champion Jacques Villeneuve sharing that car, and he will be, all joking aside, he will be happy that the car is in one piece, but he'll be hugely happy that Florian Venturi has finally got the monkey off his back, really. What's been a difficult start to the season for him.
Congratulations to Florian, congratulations to the team. Again, I was just joking, but I'm not joking that much, because I still believe that every driver in Elite 1 and every driver in Elite 2, because on Saturday the 2 races are they inverted, yes. So every driver thinks that the car, in the conditions of the car, because the contacts are pretty common. So you want to race with a car that is in good shape. So of course you want to compliment your teammate, but also you're happy because your car is not damaged.
A well-earned drink for the 18-year-old Frenchman who first cut his teeth, really, in single-seater racing. He finished 3rd in the Formula 4 French Championship back in 2017. So he made his NASCAR Whelen Euro Series debut in 2018, and that victory now gives him 3 wins in his NASCAR career. We've already seen the scenes from the podium. We are going to hopefully be able to grab some quick reaction from him very shortly. We can see him just having another chat to the team members down there, but it looks as though we're not that far away from hopefully grabbing a word with him. We will grab other interviews. They will appear on Twitter and hopefully on Facebook as well in the coming hours So we'll grab the likes of Andre Castro, finished second, and of course won the rookie trophy as well. Lasse Sorensen, we'll grab a quick word with him as well for social media purposes, because he finished third overall in the race. Claudio Capelli won the Legend Trophy, so again we will grab a short, brief 60-second interview with him. But we can hopefully then grab those and post them on social media, on Twitter very, very shortly. Before that, let's talk to our race winner down in Victory Lane.
Racing team, how do you feel?
It's amazing, no? Yesterday it's very disturbing for me, for the team, yeah. So today I want, and after we want the team win the championship, the races, the Elite 2, Elite 1 championship. So it's a good vibes and way.
What do you expect next time at Brescia?
Last year I won at Bernatch, so the same things. So for the team we will win, yeah, the good choice.
All right, congratulations on your win on the Elite 2 round 4 here in Italy.
So great to hear from Florian Venturian, laying the gauntlet down for what he wants to do at the next round of the championship for the Elite 2 division that will take place at Brands Hatch on the 1st and the 2nd of June. Cars being towed back into the pit lane. For you, Mauro, thank you for joining us. It looks as though a bit like Jacques Villeneuve, you've got a smile on your face.
Yes.
Because it was a good drive by Marino, but also equally as much your car's in one piece for your race later.
Exactly, and I think that the white roof is what we need, because I mean, no crashes. Is the red one that is kind of, is not the lucky one. So let's see what happens to me in a couple hours.
Yeah, we can see the white roof on the number 31 there in the Parc Fermé area. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure, as usual, to be with you.
Thanks a lot. Mauro Trioni there, and we wish him all the very best in his Elite 1 race later on over the course of the day. So that's it for the moment from Autodromo di Franciacorta, but that's not it for the weekend. Make sure that you are back with us for our final race of the weekend. The Elite 1 division are back out on circuit. Their race is scheduled to get underway at 2:30. We will be live online with that at 2:15 Central European summertime. And if you're listening in America, then thank you for joining us and getting up so early for the Elite 2 race. But you can go back to bed for a few hours or grab some breakfast, because we'll be back at 8:15 a.m. Eastern time if you're watching in the US. From Mauro Trioni, for myself, Mark Werrell, thanks for joining us at Franciacorta. See you later in the day. Good morning and welcome to Autodromo di Franciacorta. Welcome to for round 6 of the 2000. Welcome to Circuit Solder for the final round. The lights go out, the green flag flies. It's all very tight up towards turn 1. Oh, it's close and there's contact. They're side by side. When the checkered flag falls and the race is done, there's always time for celebrations.